actually have our number one fan sitting behind us.
This is Bob.
Bob gets
Say
the
hi,
VIP show.
Say hi, Bob. He's the strong, silent type.
We are actually in one of our training areas today. Yep. We wanted to kind of move around when we're doing the podcast and just, I guess, shoot this from different areas of our facility. Right?
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. How you been?
I'm doing all right, man. You?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'm Mike. This is Matt.
I'm Matt, and that's Mike.
Welcome to the Sworn Protection Podcast.
We got to come up with a better name.
I know, right? We're hoping for a theme song eventually, right? We talked about that the last time about a theme song, a opening song.
We absolutely did.
It can stick to your mind when you're driving down the road. And you'll be like, oh yeah, I heard that last night. That was kind of cool. And then you can sing it on your way into work.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go that far, but yeah, why not?
Anyway, we're glad to be back. Sworn Protection. We are a private security agency here located in Northeast Indiana in Fort Wayne. Mm-hmm. And we provide private security service, security guards and consultations and assessments and training for protecting our private clients, in the private sector.
Absolutely.
So that's what we do. And obviously we work really closely with other people that we can bring in to assist us with training. And we're going to have a special guest here very shortly going to be joining us, and we'll be talking to one of my dear friends as well here in just a few minutes. But associated with Alert Tactical Solutions. Mm-hmm. We also, with Alert Tactical Solutions, is our training partner that does a lot of classes for firearm training, for basic firearm training and tactical shooting, as well as self-defense and self-awareness and safety awareness, and training in all kinds of different fun categories. And they also
wait for it.
They also sell less lethal tools for a situation that may be a bad encounter with a person that's trying to make you a victim. So being able to utilize self-defense tools such as OC spray, right?
OC spray, yeah.
Similar to pepper spray, but OC spray, and as well as Byrna pistols. Mm-hmm. Byrna pistols, if you're not sure about Byrna, look it up. But
located here in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
They are less lethal pistols sold in all 50 states. They shoot out ceramic style balls or pepper balls,
rubber balls,
to fend off an attacker. So great things from Alert Tactical Solutions. And as well as we're glad to be a part of them as well with Sworn Protection. Sworn Protection, like our YouTube channel. I think the last time we were together, we posted our last podcast, and there was, if we got so many likes, how many likes was that?
It was 50, no, it wasn't even likes, it was 50 comments. That's all
50
it was.
comments. 50 comments on our podcast. And how many did we achieve?
None.
Nobody commented at all?
I don't believe so. And if there was, there might have been one.
Well, if you did comment, we truly appreciate your comment. Feel free to like our channel, Sworn Protection, on YouTube. Like our Facebook page, Sworn Protection on Facebook, and as well as Instagram. Alert Tactical Solutions, as well as Facebook. And we're not on Instagram yet. We're still working on Instagram.
No, we're not on the gram.
Not on the gram.
Not on the gram.
But anyway, we didn't get our 50 comments, because if we did, you would have seen Matt get tased.
Yeah, so thank you for not commenting.
And I think he really likes it, to be honest with you.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little electric fetish. We're
good. Wonderful. Well, I want to introduce you to a special guest that we're going to bring on. Up here to talk to me a little bit about DPTS, which is the Duhamel Physical Tactics System. It is a great training system that we utilize for self-awareness, safety awareness, and as well as self-defense. A lot of control techniques, etc. And I'm going to introduce you to my really good friend, Randy Duhamel. I'm actually an instructor for DPTS, and he is my master instructor and also a great friend and Really a good person, a good role model for me. I talk to Randy on a daily basis and enjoy our true friendship that we do have. So, Randy, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Mike. It's great to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell me a little bit about Randy, a little bit of history, how you got into DPTS, a little history about yourself, and
Well, to keep it short, I got into martial arts when I was a young kid. I was about 13, 14 years old, and felt the need to learn some protective skills, and over the years developed that into a system. And back in the late 70s, we came to Northeast Indiana and started the martial arts dojo. And then I got into law enforcement, started teaching law enforcement. And there were some holes that needed to be filled. We found out that some of the really cool training that a lot of people like to do, it's effective if you spend enough time to do it. It just takes a long time. And our research showed that about 85% of the people that go to a class for training won't go to a repeat class, and they won't practice after they leave that class. So we had to shake it down to what really works in a hot, fast, and now situation. And that's what DPTS is all about. We bring in a certain set of skills that work for most people most of the time in most situations that they find themselves in when they're performing their occupational responsibilities. Whether you're a police officer, security officer, a nurse at a hospital, or a healthcare facility, you need to know how to protect yourself. Each one of those groups have different guidelines, what they'll tolerate. Obviously, they're not going to let a nurse tase somebody or give her a taser. So they have to have separate skills, and that's where DPTS comes in, and we meet all those needs. We're currently training security team members, as you know, whether it's in libraries or hospitals, healthcare. We have one large healthcare facility we're in at least 3 times a month, and they keep wanting this training because our people feel more protected now, more ready for something if it does happen, and that's been my goal.
wonderful. And that's one thing that we focus on here at Sworn Protection as well as Alert Tactical Solution is training for the unknown, right? We do our best to train just normal people to avoid them from being or minimize the risk from being a victim. Obviously, the world that we live in is unpredictable, and being able to train those folks, like you said, in their occupation or in their daily lives, developing a little bit of skill on how can I save myself from an attack or how can I minimize an attack. So a great program that Randy has brought to our team here at Sworn Protection, and we do a lot of training with it. We've recently had some classes here with some new security officers that we did hire, and they have been going through the basic stuff. So it all obviously starts somewhere, and then they're developing further skill, and then Randy helps us a lot on a monthly basis as we continue those skills and continue to train. So, Randy, law enforcement related. Obviously, I was a law enforcement officer for a while as well. How many years did you serve?
Including now, about 33.
33 years. Wow. That's a long time, Randy.
Everything from reserve officer to the jail to the road to a command position to healthcare, public safety. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun.
Wonderful. Well, I truly appreciate your service. You know, I obviously had about 21 years in with law enforcement, and obviously now the owner of Sworn Protection, which has really grown over the years in the private sector and providing the best quality service that we can. So,
and I got to tell you, Mike,
yeah.
One of the reasons that I was happy to bring DPTS here was because a lot of people say they train or they have services. Most of them don't have quality people that they can utilize who've had proper training. And your group was different. And that's when I was not afraid to align myself and my reputation with your team, because your people train, they overtraining, you're on top of them all the time with them. You call me in, you call other people in, and these guys are getting the training they need because there's been so many years, as everybody watching knows, of people just going nuts and doing whatever they want to in the streets. And there's not been one direct answer to how people are going to handle that. And I know at Sworn, with your team, you provide those services and you seek out those other training programs to help make your team better. where a lot of people don't. And that's why I'm very happy to be here with your group. I really am.
I appreciate that, and you've taught me so much over the last few years of us and our friendship, and as well as working with our staff. And we utilize Randy a lot in different things too, and he's a really great resource. He's a great trainer, and he's a great friend. And feel free to check out their website, dptsllc.com.
That's correct.
dptsllc.com. Feel free to check out their website, reach out to them. They are on Facebook. We follow them quite a bit, but it's a great program. Like I said, anybody can do it. Like he makes a really good quote with most situations, most people, most of the time. So those common threats that we may have to encounter, or those hinky situations that maybe our spidey senses are arising because this doesn't look good, and to help us minimize the risk of being a victim or dealing with a person in our field that may not be listening to what we're telling them to do or not do. It's a really great program to help protect ourselves, and that's what it's about. Again, physical control more so, evade and escape are some of the tactics that we teach to get us to safety, to get us more help, more resources there. So
Yeah, every citizen in the United States has the right to defend themselves. What level of self-defense or self-protection can you use? That's not just everybody doesn't have a lawyer in their pocket. So you have to seek out that training. You have to be made aware of what your legal rights are and how to protect those, and different things that you can do even within your own home to protect yourself. Because as we're seeing now, home invasions are on the rise. People don't know what to do. They're not sure if they can use a firearm. They buy cameras. Well, cameras are great, but as you know, they just record what happened to you. And so we want people to be more self-aware. The situational awareness and de-escalation, all those things are primary in our basic levels of training, because if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to defend yourself at a higher level, because you have to prepare your mind and your body, and it takes a few seconds.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, if you're needing the resources for your business, your employees, you want to give them a little more training involving with protecting yourself, reach out to Randy with DPTS. It's a wonderful program, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
I thank you.
Hey, thank you, Randy, for
Thank you, everybody.
sitting in here on this wonderful podcast. All right. Matt's going to get back in the chair here. Hi, Matt. Welcome back here, buddy.
Hi.
Speaking of protecting yourself and et cetera, I did some research today, although I know a lot. I'm always reading and looking up internet articles and watching the news, and I try to keep myself very informed. And our producer, I want to thank him again, Tree, he was on our show the first time, right? So Tree does a really good job with passing on a lot of information to us, as well as our group, and just keeping in the know with all the stuff that we have. But obviously, being able to protect yourself and understanding the crime trend going on, and I got some notes I want to cover.
By all means, have at it.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to comment. Does these headphones work for me this time?
No.
No? Are they still too small?
Yes.
Because the last podcast, my kids called me out saying, "Wow, your head looks really big."
Because it is.
You know what they say about big head, right?
Big hats?
Big brains.
Yeah, okay.
The crowd loves it. The big crowd that we have here watching it, they love it, right? Right? Want to hear a funny story?
By all means, please.
Okay. Before I get into some other tips.
Serious topics,
Yeah.
folks.
So I guess I've always had a passion, right, for security and protecting myself and protecting those around me, my friends and family, right?
Right.
But I remember back in the day when my dad was around and we were much younger. I was probably this tall, not this tall, but this tall. And I remember him protecting our family. And there was an incident once. We were at home, sleep in bed. I don't know how old I was. I'm maybe 10 or 11. I don't remember. So I'm only remember. Probably my sisters can comment on this video and probably pass on more information. They may remember more because they're obviously older. They're older and wiser, but I'm more handsome. Okay. Anyway, so my dad hears some noise downstairs. We all slept upstairs in bedrooms, you know.
Right.
So as he's running down the stairs, you know, he's got like a billy club in his hand. Like, oh my gosh, somebody's at my front door at 2 or 3 in the morning, whatever it was. It was pretty late. He's walking down the stairs. Well, at the time, my cousin was there. My cousin was staying with my dad too, and my cousin heard the noise. So my cousin already went down the stairs, not knowing my dad heard it.
Uh-oh.
So as my dad's walking down the stairs, he's got this club in his hand, and he hears some movement, and he's yelling, "Who's there? Who's there?" And thank God my cousin spoke up very quickly, because my dad was about ready to hit him with a billy club in the middle of the night, and that would have went bad, folks. That would have went bad.
Absolutely.
But the whole funny part about this is, obviously, there was somebody trying to get in the house, you know, trying to break in, and my dad scared him away. And you know how he did that? Obviously, he was a big burly man, like myself.
He had clothes on, right?
He had his whitey-tidies on, answering the door, "What are you doing?" with his whitey-tidies, and he actually went running after them as they went to the rear of the house down the alley, and he was chasing them in his undies.
Nice.
A funny story.
Oh, yeah.
So at that point, I'm like, oh, shoot. We have a potential burglar here that tried to get in, and my dad scared him away with his whitey-tidies. It's always a good, fun little story.
Oh, yeah. My dad did the same thing when I was younger.
Oh, yeah? Did he run out in his whitey-tidies?
He did. But instead of a billy club, he had a shotgun.
Oh, okay.
And the neighbors flipped their floodlights on, and they got full glory up and down the street as he's running.
Oh, that's nice.
Turned out it was a raccoon in the trash cans, but, you know.
A raccoon. Well, you know, that's where you're paying attention, right? Aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Well, with that, how can we protect ourselves and our family? You know, whether from a physical attack or from maybe a psychological attack and or from, like fraud or getting into our personal lives. So I got a couple of the tips for the folks out here who's actually going to be watching this video.
You should share those tips, Mike.
But number one is securing your premises. So securing your home, your business, whatever it may be. Alarm systems are always good. Cameras, I like how Randy mentioned cameras earlier, which cameras does record the action, but like it might be after the fact before you discover it, right? But cameras are good, and also having good locks on your home.
Yeah.
Not buying the $6 lock at Walmart, no offense, but buying a good secured lock and deadbolt for your house, window locks, etc. So securing your premises. Another thing I read was keeping a low profile at home or even online. There's a lot of cyber attacks going on, and I know Tree has given us some information on some cyber attacks and some safety awareness being online, but keeping a low profile out there, changing passwords frequently, through email accounts. Same with banking accounts, because everything's online now or through an app. So a lot of things is accessible in that area. So being able to keep people guessing. There's a lot of programs out there too that you can subscribe to and buy, antiviruses and malware and spyware and all that stuff, which I have done some things like that. But keeping that low profile. And that also happens with social media, using social media wisely.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that get hacked. I always get friend requests from the same friend that I've been friends with for 10 years, and then I see a message, don't accept any friend requests from me because they've been hacked. So changing those passwords frequently. Anymore, there's always a password generator with technology and stuff, so utilizing that.
One other thing with that is
absolutely.
With your passwords, don't use the same password for everything. I found that out the hard way.
Like you?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's always a good point too. Using different passwords and mixing them up, and I know it's hard to keep track of all the passwords because you always have to create a login for everything that you do now, but being able to have that secured, maybe in a vault on a cloud service, or even just handing it, writing it down and putting it in a safe at home and locking it up, where it's really secured. But also communicating with your family, whether if it's the family in your home or if it's family, around you in the area, different cities or towns, but just being able to have that family closeness and keeping them in the loop of what's going on, and developing an action plan. So if things do really go bad in this country, world, whatever it may be, from a natural disaster or to a man-made disaster, being able to develop an action plan, a meet-up spot. I think we spoke of this a little bit the last time, but having that meet-up spot, having different ways to communicate, whether if our phone service goes down, using a radio, Morse code, whatever it may be. What I'm saying is developing that action plan.
For sure. With that action plan, good idea if you have, or if you're in a family and you've got younger kids, create a safe word with those kids.
Oh, that's a good idea. Creating a safe word.
We had that growing up. My parents always told us from as young as I can remember that anytime somebody, or if somebody rather, would come and pick us up from either school or daycare or whatever, and we didn't know who they were, we had to ask for the safe word or the password. And if my parents were the ones to tell them, hey, I need you to go get my kid, they would give them the password, and then they would tell us.
That's a good plan too, because human trafficking is a huge topic now in this country that we see all over the news, and being able to make sure you're going with the right people and that safe word. That's an excellent. Wow, you are smart.
Occasionally.
So a couple of more things is avoid identity theft, to monitor theft, and you're monitoring your identity online, as well as just in the mail, when mail comes, shredding the mail properly, etc.
Speaking of mail, also a good tip to keep yourself safe if you live in a neighborhood or anything, make friends with your neighbors, or at least get to know them well enough to be like, hey, listen, I'm going out of town for a few days. Watch over my place. You don't have to go inside and make sure the door's locked, but just, let me know if you see anybody come up to the door or you see random cars park in my driveway.
Yeah, that's an excellent thing. Or coordinating that with a family member or a really close friend that you trust. But collecting the mail. Keep a light on in your home so it looks like your home from time to time. And there's a lot of different switches and sensors that you can have that turn on your lights at a certain time of the day or night, and obviously activated motion activated lights and stuff like that. And again, like I said, touching on the identity theft, and not just online but also like the mail and packages and etc. Protecting your finances, which was another suggestion, which was good for your online banking, your bank. We got a request for services a little bit ago. This was last week, but it was reference to a senior citizen that was scammed out of a lot of money, and then they continued to make threats towards them because they started catching on. So that stuff happens. So just being really alert, teaching those around you, parents, family, aunts and uncles, friends, just giving them some guidance and to help prevent being a victim, or prevent risk towards you, to avoid being a victim is how I wanted to word that. And also plan for the future too. If there is a tornado, right? We live in Indiana, or if there is a natural disaster or chaos hits our cities, or we go through another pandemic, being able to plan for that at home and at work and our vehicles, especially as we're approaching wintertime in Indiana, making sure that we have the appropriate necessities in our vehicles, such as blankets and maybe an extra, like a jumper box, maybe a small can of gas, something like that, because as we approach winter weather, streets get kind of crazy,
especially with the holidays too.
Exactly. So being able to prepare for that and understanding the planning for the future. And we're always here to help you here at Sworn Protection if you ever, or Alert Tactical Solutions. If you ever need some guidance on that and need some good references and resources, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how you been?
I'm doing all right. You?
Good, good. We just finished softball.
We did.
That was fun.
It was a great time.
Yeah. That was really good.
And we didn't come in last place, which is always fantastic.
We didn't win the toilet seat this time.
Thank God.
But last time we won it, Matt had it, he wore it around his neck for 3 days.
We don't need to talk about that.
That was a good time. Halloween's coming up tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
We should have dressed up.
We should have.
You should have put on your Pamela Anderson costume again.
Oh, God. You can take your costume off anytime. It scares the kids.
Happy Halloween to everybody out there, by the way. Again, being safe on Halloween if you're trick-or-treating with your youngins. We want to make sure that you're safe and obviously follow the trick-or-treat times in your town or your city. Mm-hmm. And as well as enjoy it.
Yeah. Do you have any tips or tricks off the top of your head for families and kids who are out trick-or-treating?
I always say never go to the houses that do not have their lights on.
That's a solid piece of advice.
So the ones that have their porch lights on, yeah, they're probably giving out candy.
One would assume.
And number 2 is walking together in groups.
Yep. Always have a battle buddy for your
Yeah, a battle buddy.
adventure.
And I would always suggest an adult with you.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand kids in the neighborhood and stuff, but making sure that you have an adult close, maybe carry a phone,
yeah, who doesn't have a phone now?
that we can call mom or dad or aunt or uncle or grandma or grandpa.
Or at least tell your folks where you're heading to.
Yeah, and be able to be safe at Halloween.
And parents, remember, after trick-or-treating hours are done and your kids are in bed, make sure you go through all their candy. Not for razor blades or anything like that, just check for the Reese's because we all know those are for you and not the kids.
Yes, Reese's are good. Right, Skippy?
Skippy's not here.
Yeah, he loves them. Maybe we'll have Skippy on the show soon. Maybe not.
Maybe.
We'll see if he wants to come sometime, right?
That works.
Anyway, he loves Reese Pieces. Anyway, yeah, also checking the candy is a good tip too, making sure that nothing appears to be tampered with and et cetera.
Right.
So, a lot of great events coming up, I'm sure, over the weekend, being holiday or Halloween tomorrow, and there's probably some haunted houses and different parties going on. Just be safe and be aware of your surroundings and do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Another thing I read today. You want to hear it?
I
I'm full of information, ain't I?
I know.
Just admit
it's
it.
amazing.
It's great. I'm like an encyclopedia.
I'm like a cyclopedia. Okay. Oh, gosh. I'm going to turn this off now.
Oh, he turned off the sounds. Vehicle thefts and thefts from vehicles. They're on a rise.
They are.
They're on a big rise. And I understand as we approach the holidays with Thanksgiving, a month away or less? About a month away.
Yeah.
And then Christmas a few weeks after that, you're going to see a lot of rise in vehicle thefts and thefts from vehicles. So a few tips.
Tips and tricks.
Can I
folks.
pass those on?
Absolutely. You share.
Number 1, park in well-lit areas.
Oh, what if there are no well-lit areas?
I wouldn't park there.
Fair enough.
And if for some reason that's your only option, take a flashlight and not what your cell phone flashlight gives you. Wear a flashlight, get a big flashlight, because then you also have a tool for just in case you are attacked, you have a little bit of a tool that you can pop somebody over the head with it if you need to.
That's right. Walk around the Walmart on Black
To
Friday
run for
with
help.
a big mag light.
To run for help if you need to. Obviously, lock your car.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, that's a simple one. Obviously, hide all valuables or take them with you. Mm-hmm. But if you're out shopping or you're out moving and grooving, running errands, put that stuff in a trunk If you don't have a trunk, put it in the back seat, maybe underneath the back seat or in the hatch.
Glove box, center
Glove
console,
box,
whatever you got.
center console, whatever you need to do to make sure those valuables aren't out in the open and people see that as an opportunity and taking it from you. Here's another one. Keep your keys with you. No. Big tip though, because that happens a lot. People will go out and warm up their car in the wintertime. It's a little chilly. And start their car and go back inside the house, finish getting ready for work or whatever it may be, and then there's an opportunity, obviously, for someone to take off with the vehicle. Always keep a copy of a registration with you and your title. Don't keep the title in the car. That's not good.
No.
So keep a copy of the registration, even you take a photo of it on your phone. So you know that, hey, this is my plate number, this is my vehicle, this belongs to me. Because I understand we usually keep the registration where?
In your glove box.
In the glove box or in the center console, right? So having a copy of that handy would be good as well. This is one that I found interesting. VIN etching. Do you know what VIN etching is?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell us.
Yeah, why not? Obviously, this is probably going to cost some money, but if you're driving a nice ride, you know.
Nice whip.
Etch the VIN onto the windows. That's what etching means. So you put the VIN on a window or two, and then it helps for it to be resold, because a lot of things that we've seen in the past, and working with people that I know, obviously within law enforcement, have told me, you know, they can try to re-VIN the cars that they take, and scratch out the VIN and remake them and restamp them, even though they may not be a valid VIN, it looks valid, right? So etching that VIN onto windows, which I think is probably cool. I've never thought of that,
No,
actually, and I read that, and it was really good advice, and I started digging deeper, and that makes sense. Or there's always your tracker devices.
Right.
You know, putting in does those Apple, what are they called?
AirTags?
AirTags, that they may work, right?
Yeah. Stash
Or-
that somewhere in your car, underneath the floorboard or something.
Yeah. Or a GPS unit,
you can do
or
that.
some of them have, what's that called, OnStar?
Yeah, OnStar. I don't know if OnStar is even a thing anymore.
I don't know. But anyway, you know, something like that would work. But a tracker device is always good too, to help monitor that. But that's what's important though, because we are seeing a huge increase in thefts from vehicles, and primarily they're trying door handles.
Yeah.
And they find I think the numbers were 1 out of 4. I'd have to pull that back up again, but I think it was 1 out of 4 door handles were unlocked. So as they're trying door handles, they find one that's unlocked, there's an opportunity.
Right.
So that's why it's important, even if you do happen to leave it unlocked, you don't have your valuables in it to be taken. So some good tips today, huh?
Absolutely. Great tips.
And that's what we're all about here at Sworn Protection, is keeping everybody safe. We provide excellence in protection for our private property owners and our clients and the public, and all of those are all about providing protection and keeping people safe. And that's what we really focus on here at Sworn Protection. Feel free to check us out at
SwornProtection.com.
And or feel free to reach out to Alert Tactical Solutions if you're interested. Thank you. I wasn't quite there yet. But if you're interested in some training, DPTS, as Randy was on here earlier, he's always willing to come in and help us, and obviously reach out to DPTS if you're looking for how to keep you safe. Great programming. Thanks again, Randy, for coming today and speaking with us. But Alert Tactical Solutions is also out there for you as a resource and a training need for your family, friends, individuals, businesses, for protection and providing safety. And we teach firearms. We teach how to use a chemical agent, such as OC spray, the burn pistols.
Burn pistols.
And as well as obviously DPTS and safety awareness and just being aware. So we do a lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff. Website is almost done. It's not quite there. I do apologize. but it's almost there. But feel free to look us up at www.com
Sworn protection.
and Alert Tactical Solutions at www.com.
Alert Tactical Solutions.
Feel free to check us out.
.com.
Before we close here today,
Yeah.
Bob's been kind of quiet behind us, hasn't he?
Like I said, strong silent type.
Yeah. Bob, did you enjoy the show? I think that was a yes.
Resounding yes.
Yeah? Yeah. Thanks, Tree, again. We always love our executive producer. He does a really good job with getting us out here and putting the word out about our business. And again, like us on YouTube, our YouTube channel. We want to get 50 comments. If we get 50 comments, then we can tase you.
Is that still standing?
Why not?
All right,
Why not?
sure.
Like us, share us. We appreciate your help, and we love doing this, and we hope to see you back here in a few weeks. Happy Halloween. Be careful. Be safe. Be aware, and be prepared.
Be aware, be prepared. I like that.
You like that?
I like that. That's
All right. Thank you, folks, and we'll see you next time.